Hello everyone, I would like to introduce you to Marion County, West Virginia. It's in the middle of everywhere and full of history and fun, not to mention delicious food and beer. At the end of each of our broadcasts, you will catch a video on a different part of this amazing town, which has made our coverage possible. Start your day off right with a locally brewed cup of coffee and a breakfast meal from Joe and Thoreau, where you can learn how to throw your own cup of coffee on their pottery wheels. Not only does this town have two exciting and challenging 18-hole disc golf courses in Morris Park, but a short drive away is a step back in time at Prickett's Fort, where they featured costumed interpreters and demonstrations of colonial crafts. Make sure you stop by Summit Financial, which offers investment, retirement, and estate planning, life insurance, and long-term insurance. And after all that, enjoy a beer and dinner while listening to live music at the Rambling Root. We want to thank the Marion County Visitors Bureau and the Fairmont Flyers for inviting us out to cover this amazing event again this year. Now let's get the show started. Hello everyone and welcome back to Disc Golf Examiner. My name is Brian Keegan, I'm your host, and today joining me I have Brad Schick. Brad, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, Brian. How's it going, buddy?
Doing well, because we're at the 2020 Seth Burton Memorial. You know, this is one of my most favorite tournaments to cover all year long. Beautiful park at Morris Park, having two disc golf courses that are really challenging. One highly technical, Orange Crush, and the other I'd say a bit more open, but still a really great disc golf course in Seth Burton. And I am, you know, this is unseasonably cold weather we had this particular weekend. Brad, anything you have to add about this tournament?
Yeah, it's definitely one of the top tournaments that I'm planning for during the year. And this year, the weather, as far as sun, was absolutely perfect. The cold weather was a little bit abnormal, like you said. It was in the high 30s in the morning, so definitely chilly.
And the round before this, I believe Tyler Horne shot a 1046 rated round, I believe.
Yeah, he crushed it.
Absolutely, at Orange Crush. We're starting off on round two. So Tyler's going to start off at 8 under. Cody Bradshaw behind him at 7 under. And then Brad and Zach Melton here at 4 under. Going into the first hole of Seth Burton. It's a par 3. It is 401 feet.
They call this the open course, but yeah, this is definitely one of the more technical shots on this side starting out. So 400 feet, it says par 3, but some of these pars I think are really pretty tough. I would say most players of even a pro caliber are perfectly satisfied with getting a 3 on this hole and taking off to the next hole. So
yeah, this is definitely, this has got to be like one of the harder par 3s on the entire course. It is just, I don't see how anybody could get the distance with that low ceiling and with the tight gaps that you have to hit.
Yeah, it's definitely one. Like I said, I think I mean, you could with a perfect shot get up there and get a long putt, but I think, you know, even that shot right there, you can see Cody's just throwing a safe backhand. That red basket's actually not what we're playing to. That's the shorter basket, and he's well short of that. So you've got that backhand on the right-hand side. You've got the sidearm out over the road. Again, just trying to get close to that basket and then have about 150 feet to the other basket. So
we have a bunch of really great players here at this tournament this year. It was really great to see everybody who came out from all over. We had people from Indiana, obviously Pennsylvania and Ohio, West Virginia, all over. Just coming in, and you know, Zach here from Tennessee driving in to play this tournament. Great to see that.
That was seeing that lefty line. That is way out there, but he did get kind of an unfortunate roll down into the rough. But you know, he's still far enough up there where he's probably going to be okay. So it's tough to see the yellow basket, but you're kind of going over that red basket, and then probably, like I said, about 100 or so feet back, kind of in that line. So Cody's going to be pretty close, probably in 25, 30 foot range.
Tyler with a nice sidearm up to the basket. Yeah, he's going to have an easy putt from there.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny. I've seen you and Tyler play this course so many times that it's sort of like seeing the repeat. It's sort of like you guys have this down.
Yeah,
This
it's
rhythm.
funny because over the last 3 or 4 years, I almost have the exact same discs in my bat. I know if I watch the video from last year, I'm probably throwing the same red surge on hole 2, or I'm throwing, Tyler probably the same. So here's Zach kind of down in that rough area, but he's so far down there. He's literally almost pin high, so that 400-foot shot is not easy to get to. But the way that hill slopes down, the film doesn't really do it justice. But he's up and down pretty easy for this par. So here's Cody. Probably a little further than I thought, probably about 40 feet, 35, 40 feet down below the hole for his par.
Oh, just a little low on the basket, but great bid.
Mm-hmm. Tyler from about 20, probably.
Wow, just missed a little bit right. That's uncharacteristic of him.
Yeah, could be a little bit of nerves. He's coming off the hot round, so.
Yeah.
It's unlike Tyler for sure. Tapping in for his 4. Cody will do the same. And Zach and I are both fairly close for the drop in 3s. So.
Zach will clean up. And we're going to go ahead and move on to hole number 2, which is a par 4. It is 552 feet. I'd say that this is probably a very gettable par 4 for most players, but
it's a great hole. Again, that red basket's the short, and you can see down to the yellow. Again, the film doesn't always do it justice, but there's some massive slopes. This one, for a right-hander throwing a backhand, the hill actually helps you. A lot of these holes, it actually hurts you because it's sloping toward the OB. This is actually keeping you out of that road. So the road is all along the left side. So most players are trying to go out wide, skip it up a little bit. It's a little bit of a harder shot for a lefty, so you typically will see Zach and others try sidearm. So looks like he's actually just going to go with the backhand and play that slope. So imagine this is a straight flying fairway driver mid.
oh yeah, playing
Just
nice.
a little low. Yeah, just a little low. He had to get that nose up a little bit, so he probably hit the ground and kind of cut down into the wood line, but he's not in any big trouble. But I know he was probably hoping to be a little further down the fairway. Tyler's throwing this stalker that he told me the morning before, or actually that morning of the tournament, he said he just put it in his bag the night before. So and then all of a sudden he's throwing it on about every 5th hole, it seemed like. So I'm like, wow, you just put a disc in your bag and now it's the go-to disc. So Cody turning just a bit too much and caught some tree limbs, but he's still pretty far down there. So I think he's still going to have a chance for his bird. And I'm well short of where I want to be. And so I'm actually trying to play this sidearm out over the road, which is all OB, and completely saw it off, get lucky as can be, and throw in the woods. So I'm pretty much just hoping to save par from where I am on that second shot.
Zach made it to the edge of the tree line there, and looks like he's going to catch the ground a little early.
Yeah. And you can see Cody just a little bit too far down on that wood line. It just makes a tough upshot. It's a standstill. He's probably still 275 feet away, maybe 250. And again, he pretty much did what I did and kind of sawed it off into that wood line. Tyler is absolutely in a perfect spot. He can throw a sidearm. He can throw straight at it. Yeah, this is just a straight putter. It looks like it's Challenger, and he's throwing straight at it. So he's probably in the circle for sure.
He is 100%. Zach having a long look at it here, probably about 90 to 100 feet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to have to pitch it up there.
Yeah, I think that was a layup all day. Probably.
Yeah.
Conceded the par from that point, and kind of the same thing I am. I'm in the middle of jungle, so the damage was pretty much done off the tee. just get the par and get out. One thing you'll see at this course is there's very few holes where the basket is on flat land. And so oftentimes when you miss, you just are kind of waiting on that roll away to see if it's going to happen or not. So this is, again, one of the flatter holes, but it's always in the back of your head. When you start having some putting woes, it just starts to compound pretty quickly.
Tyler having a long look downhill at it here. Oh, still a little left that time.
Yeah, he's not comfortable. He's made a comment that he just didn't know what was going on with his putt. And this was 2 holes in a row where he was in almost gimme range for Tyler for birdie. And he, he missed them both. So I'm sorry, the first one was for par, but putt 3 feels like a birdie. But hole 2, getting a 3 on this hole is a really good score. So no harm, no foul with the 4, but that's one he just kind of gave away. So
as we move on to hole number 3, it's a par 3, 341 feet. And you just really, we saw it last year. We saw an ace on this hole last year. Super excited to cover that with Corey Ellis. And I'm trying to think here. Is that something that anybody on this card is going to be trying to do? Trying to go for it?
Yeah, except for me, apparently, because I'm throwing a roller, which after doing it, there's a tree that's down now that you can kind of see down that gap. And it used to be more of a sidearm shot where it was a little easier. But now this gap down there to the right is wide open. And after I threw it, I kind of was wondering why I did that. You'll see Zach and the other players take that hyzer line. For Zach, it's going to be a sidearm, but it's really wide open. And as you said, last year, Corey threw a perfect little, fairway driver, had a soft skip right by the tree on the right and straight in the basket. So it's definitely there. 340 feet is in range of just about every open player. And again, I just didn't really think this through. Didn't practice this course the day before. And see Tyler, he was almost perfect line, but just a little bit low and kind of got caught up in that tall grass. And that's the line right there.
Yeah. That'll get up there to the basket. He'll be within putting range for sure there.
Yeah, just a little high maybe, but it's on the high side of the basket, so he's doing fine. And I'm in that, that awkward zone of you kind of want to run for it, but there's such fast greens that the damage was done off the tee. So par is not a bad score on most of these holes out here. You're not really too upset with it. Tyler in the same boat, pretty much. After missing 2 short ones, I think he just said, let me get out of here.
Yeah, Cody grabbing a great birdie.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Right in the heart. That's a good way to get on the board because this is not an easy 2. And it feels good to just kind of get one under your belt pretty early. So good putt by Cody. Good drive.
Zach here from just that scooch closer. Oh, geez. Maybe just a little right on that, a little high and right.
Yeah, he just a little bit tentative. I mean, it's just weak side. It's tough to get them to stick on that, and just a little bit of maybe nerves. I don't know. Unlike Zach, he's one of the best putters. I've played with Zach quite a bit, and unlikely to miss those very, very often. So
Cody tying it up with Tyler.
Yep.
Going into hole 4.
Yep. This is a beautiful hole. The tee pad really throws me off. It kind of is off of a straight line, but you can see based on the camera drone footage, it goes off to the left, and it's really far uphill. So it plays 400. It says par 3. I would argue that par is probably more likely for the red basket. I don't know that it's ever going to be 2'd, although I believe Chris Dickerson did last year or the year before. He threw it in from quite a ways out. But, it's one of those holes where, again, you walk off with a 3 and you're really happy. But you can see Cody kind of starting off on the right and trying to get up on that left corner to get that angle. with it being so far uphill, again, it doesn't look that far uphill on the
Cody.
film, but it is. It makes it a little challenging. So
Yeah, I think the challenge is not only that hill, but just having the power to get it up past these trees and past there's really some high brush on the right side that really makes it challenging.
yeah, yeah, it's definitely an awkward shot, but again, get it up there 350 feet, 300 feet, somewhere in there. Throwing at 300 feels like you basically threw it 400 because it's just the uphill line, and can't really work it that well. So Tyler getting a little unlucky off of that telephone pole, and so that red basket you see is not where we're going. We're actually going off to the left, which again is pretty drastically uphill. So I think I measured this off when I was waiting, and I believe it played about 260 or so, 250. Doesn't look very far, but man, it goes uphill quite a ways, and I got pretty lucky to go around that tree.
Tyler playing a slight lower, playing the skip a little bit out.
He should have a good spot. Yeah, he's just a little uphiller from 20, 25, somewhere in there.
And Zach's probably a good 180 or so feet out from the basket, but oh, wow,
Great run.
That's a terrible break. 2 inches higher, 3 inches higher, and it's in the basket probably. And now he's 45 or 50 out, and Cody's got to follow that. And it was weird because he was in between shots and he decided to go with that backhand, and it just got a little bit of a lift, and as soon as it hit those leaves it just shot straight down. So he's going to have a really tough putt for 3, probably looking more at a 4, which is kind of where Zach's at now too. He's just got pinned completely in this tall grass. We almost have nothing.
I really think this is going to be a common theme that we see throughout today. With that, he even clipped the basket there. Just seeing where these baskets are placed, you have a lot of rollaways. It's definitely not great for trying to lay your disc up sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, Cody having to pretty much, he was giving that a run, but it's always in the back of your mind. Wow. And there's Tyler again. Wow.
Jeez.
That is 2 air balls from 20 feet, which is just so unlike him. And now he's kind of in his own head. He's even saying like he's unsure what's going on. And that's, for all of the players who are, not a top level pro, this stuff goes through pros' heads as well. It's one of those things that's hard to shake. And when you get that in your head, it can be a real challenge to shake that. So, Tyler's now bogeyed this hole. He's dropped down a couple strokes already in the first 4 holes and kind of opening the door for some of us to move up. So hopefully he can pull it together.
As we move on to hole 5, par 3, 354 feet, you have OB Road on the right-hand side and all these trees in the middle to catch your disc and cause them to roll OB.
Yeah, this is a tough one because the hill goes from left to right, again, pretty drastically. And this is one where I said that the hill actually hurts you. I really don't have the distance to get up there, even though it's only 350. It probably plays like 425. It's just a huge, huge shot to get up and around all those trees and then get it to come back. So you have to throw very overstable and then just hope you get around all of them and then kind of come in. So Cody, that looks really good. He's going to have a clean shot there. It's a much more difficult shot for the lefty because he's either having to throw a sidearm down the road. This is a line that I've actually never seen. I haven't played with a lot of lefties here. He's actually going this high side and trying to flex one over.
It looks like his Raider.
Yeah, a little bit stable. And unfortunately, his just keeps turning ever so slightly and catches that road and goes out of bounds. So. Yeah, that's not a good.
And you're gonna have a great upshot here, though. You're gonna hit metal. Tyler, giving that a great run. And now we have Zach from his OB lie. Still looking up towards the basket. And doing a great jump putt effort. And, oh, just a little shy there.
That was a good one.
And Cody I think he's outside the circle here for sure.
Yeah, he was asking us, so we were kind of joking with him. I said, "Yeah, I believe you're out." It looked like it was real close. And then, of course, right after he made it, I said that was definitely inside. So we were going to give him a hard time. But that was a great putt. Again, a very fast green. It doesn't really look it, but any sort of metal, and you can easily hit and roll. Do a little examination.
Yeah,
Here we go.
gotta watch it from a different angle here. Great putt. Yeah, low right. Can't get any better than that.
Feels good after that last hole, especially where he was, right up there for a good look at his par and hit that limb and kick him straight down. So,
and that should. Let's see what happens here with the score. As Zach taps out.
Yeah, Cody should take the lead now.
Cody now has the lead. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So going into hole 6, it's a par 3, 459 feet. You got road OB on the left-hand side and a lot of woods on your right the entire way down.
Yeah, tough hole for sure. Again, I would say 90% of players are thrilled to just get a 3 and move on. There are a handful of people that could 2 it maybe. I would say there's going to be more 5s and 6s than 2s though. So you'll see most players playing that right side, kind of similar to hole 2, where you use the hill to your advantage and then let it just kind of roll back down. It's just a little awkward for me, so I do go out over the road and play that sidearm and just try to get that soft skip back, which I was thrilled with that shot when I let it go.
Yeah.
Tyler's going back with that stalker, which is the same disc he threw on hole 2 because it is essentially the same shot. And he crushed that thing.
Wow, look at that thing fly. Keeps going.
Yeah. Good shot. And Zach's going to take advantage of that hillside as well and go with the sidearm. So smart play, very safe.
A little low out of the hand there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was low.
Yeah, I forget what that did. I believe he got oh no, it didn't. I thought it got a little bit of a flare, but luckily he's on the edge, and again, he can use that sidearm to his advantage and play it up against that hill, and then kind of just funnel back down to the basket. So he's got such a strong sidearm. But I'd say he's still probably 250 to 280 from the pin, maybe even more. It's still a long ways away.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Yeah, that came right across the, maybe just a few feet short of getting it in. And Cody with a great rip up to the basket, playing that hillside, and it's going to scoot right over.
Perfect. And I unfortunately rolled. They said it hit up high and kind of just funneled down into the woods. And I did have a small gap that I just completely missed. So unfortunately, I'm lining up for the bogey after that. Tyler's in the perfect spot.
Yeah, Tyler.
Great shot.
Yeah.
That's good.
Special shout out to Trevin, Keteles, and Poole for helping me out with catch cam and Slomo, respectively.
Nice. Yeah, you had quite the crew out there that day.
Yeah, we want to make sure to get good coverage on you guys.
Good 3 from Cody. Tyler's got a little tap in, as does Zach. And then I'm going to unfortunately drop in the first bogey of my day. So, well, during this round. Tap in 3s are good on that hole. There's a lot of those you feel like just give me the par and get out. So that's definitely one of them.
So Cody's still in the lead going into hole 7, which is a par 3, 464 feet. You have some woods to your left, as well as some tall trees, and the right side road is OB.
Yep. Fast green again. It sounds like a broken record. Again, another hole where you're very happy with 3. We had a little bit of a wait, so
Why not?
Kid, yeah.
It's Zach swinging, having a great time here at the 2020 Seth Burton Memorial.
It was so funny because there was this loud squeak after every time he went up, and the group in front, like, what in the world is happening?
I don't know who swings like that. You got to kick your legs to go higher.
Yeah, I remember Cody saying, "What's the play on this?" I said, "Play down as far as you can toward that red basket," and he about put it underneath it. So, again, this is one that maybe 2 or 3 or 4 people all day have a chance to even get down there for the 2. So, just play it out there, get as far out as you can, get your 3, and live to see another birdie on another hole. So, Tyler doing okay. Got a little bit high off the tee shot, but this is such a strange hole. When you throw that with a little bit of turn, it's just like the gravity sucks it down toward the road so fast. So the miss is obviously to miss left. So people sometimes get greedy, throw a little bit of a flippy disc, try to get that extra distance, and I've seen it backfire numerous times. So, and this is kind of that line for a right-hander. But Zach's trying to sidearm, and
let's get back.
Literally was 6 inches from probably having a putt. I mean, that was a really unfortunate hit on that curb or the road there. So,
yeah, I think he was just on the other side of the road, skipped right off the curb.
And I actually changed discs and went more overstable because of that. I just got weirded out. So, because it didn't look like he threw a bad shot, it was just funneling down that hill, and next thing you know, it's out in the road. So, Tyler has a little hyzer shot coming in and yanks that wide. And now he's going to have a really challenging upshot or a challenging putt from probably 40 or 45 feet.
Ooh, you're going to have a nice pitch up to the basket from there, though.
Yeah, I just want to get out. Just let me get out of there.
And Zach, from his position from OB, still a decent ways up the fairway here. Gonna give it a
he's
bid.
Pretty much just concede the par. I mean, you got to just get your 4 and get out.
Ooh.
Cody just completely misfires, yanks it a little bit, and now he's almost giving a stroke away. He's got a long putt for his par, but man, he was sitting in a perfect place for his easy 3 and gave it away. Now Tyler's got that 35, 40 footer.
Oh no!
Wow.
How?
I couldn't see it, but it sure looked perfect.
That's ridiculous.
It is. It's hard because he's had some struggles on the green. He finally got himself back in a vibe where he felt good and threw it right in, and it just didn't stay. So it's tough when you finally you feel like, okay, I'm getting my head back on, and then that happens. It's like, what do I have to do?
Really. Zach pitching in with his Raider as we move on to hole 8. Cody still in the lead by a stroke. Hole 8 is a par 3. It is 342 feet up the hill into tightly wooded area here. It's actually the tee's more over to the left, I believe. But,
this stroke average is maybe from a different hole, same hole but different tee. This is from the shorter tee. So we're on the left side throwing down this tunnel, and that 342 plays like 375, or it's a long ways up this hill. So it's not too a lot. It's tough to get all the way up in there. So that was actually one of my better throws. It got me up there to give me at least a long look at it, which is all I can ask for on this. It plays like I said, about 380. Cody's going with the backhand. He's got a nice smooth, just easy. Just doesn't look like he's even throwing it, and it just goes.
Flexing nicely out to the basket. He's going to be within putting range there.
Good shot. There's Tyler Stalker.
And he's going to clip a tree and hit far left.
He's having no luck upon a few misfires, and then no luck to boot. So only 8 holes in, it's kind of like it just keeps compounding on these 2 courses. They're so hard. That's a great looking shot by Zach. It did get a little bit away from him on that skip, so he's going to have a long look for birdie. But if that thing hadn't skipped so hard, he would have been right up on the circle's edge or close to the edge of it. And Tyler's probably sitting here 240 feet. I mean, he's way back still. I give that a A+. That was amazing. It didn't look as hard as it really was. I walked over and didn't think he had a chance to even put it near the circle's edge, and I think he's probably like 20 feet.
Zach here is probably about 40, 45 feet, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a good ways out, maybe even more, like 50. It's a good ways out, but definitely a good shot on this hole still.
Oh, just off the tree.
Yeah.
Well, Cody has to get past that tree with his putt as well. Oh, right off the top.
He is online every time.
And Brad from downtown crushing the birdie.
Yeah, I needed that. That was the first 2 I think I had on this course, or the last course. So yeah, it's good to get one of those to fall. That was a little bit of a bonus birdie for me for sure. And put a little heat on these guys.
Oh no, Tyler was high on that one.
Yeah, his head is all jacked up.
Yeah, I mean,
especially after the last hole where he did throw a great putt and it spit right through. And I hate to see that for anyone. It's just hard to watch because he's one of the best putters out there.
Seriously. We've covered him so many times, and that's the most consistent part of his game, I think, more than anything, is the putting.
Yep.
I'm just not going for him today. But, Brad, you're going to pick up a stroke there, and we're going to move on to hole number 9. There's a par 3. It is 209 feet downhill out of this gap. The road is OB behind the basket. The basket is over here to the left, and there's more hill. It's just the trees and the hills never end here at Morris Park.
Straight down. This hole says 209. It plays about 150 though, and if you get any sort of float on this, it's gone. It's absolutely in the road before you know it.
Wow.
And when you're sitting up on the tee, it feels like you're right there. And I've had many times where I've thrown this hole and been in the road and thought I was under the basket. So I actually went up a little more stable this year and just made sure that it didn't float. And so I threw kind of a stable buzz. Cody's sitting there thinking he's parked, and he ends up going OB, I believe. He just got it a little bit of height, and it was gone. So... and that skipped just a little bit, but that's a good shot.
And Tyler here coming up just a little short, he'll have a long putt there.
Yeah. Cody's marking it in from the road and trying to save his par, but he's not gonna be able to from down there. It's a tough putt. Now, Tyler's looking, for somebody who is struggling with their putt, I would say 95% of the world would lay this up because it's straight downhill, and Tyler just keeps going at it. That's what you got to love about him. He didn't give up. He did catch some metal and luckily did not get the roll away, so he'll be close for the 3. Now, Zach has this left for his birdie. He's probably about 25 or so feet.
Yeah. Crushing that one. Let's check it out again. Yeah.
Nice.
Dead center.
That's the only thing you're telling yourself is don't be low on that putt, because 9 times out of 10 you hit the basket, it's coming right back to you. So great putt by Zach. He's been struggling a little bit this round too. and I'm just glad to get out of there.
So going into the back nine, we have Cody Bradshaw in the lead with Brad Schick tied at 5 under. And this is really, it's starting to get exciting, Brad. There's a lot of jockeying in position. There's a lot of in question right now as far as who's going to take this thing.
I didn't even know what the scores were at this time, even though I was keeping score on the live scoring. I had no clue, but I knew it was getting close. And you know, the back nine doesn't let up at all, so it'll be fun.
And we look forward to seeing you on the next video where we cover the back nine at the 2020 Seth Burton Memorial Round 2. And until then, keep banging those chains.